Hello, I'm Dr. John, a therapist in California. I live now in North County, just north of San Diego, but see clients generally throughout the state. When I lived in LA, I was the therapist to see if you had a fear of flying. That was the topic of my doctoral thesis. I had a whole virtual reality set, and I even had airline seats in my office that I managed to get from Italian Airlines. So when a TV show called The Doctors wanted to film someone who had a fear of flying as part of a segment on phobias, they came to me. Now, in LA, it's almost a trope at this point, but when you are on TV, even if it's just a commercial or a segment of a show, you have it on your phone and you show it to everyone. And so, in that spirit, I'm going to show my little 15 minutes of fame to basically demonstrate my therapeutic approach. I'll interject with some commentary to show what's happening so you can get a better idea of using these techniques in the real world for a practical goal. So here in this segment, I'll be demonstrating my techniques with a lady who had a major fear of flying. She lived in California. Her son was going to school in the East Coast. And so the big question was, would she be able to resolve her fear of flying to make that flight? In this segment, she'll be flying around the Santa Monica airport and then eventually across the country. Now, of course, if she didn't make her flight, if she ran screaming from the airplane, I probably wouldn't be using this segment. So spoiler alert, she was able to fly. So all in all, I think this is a pretty good segment that demonstrates my therapeutic approach. It captures something kind of essential about how I work, helping people face anxiety directly without needing the fear to disappear first, to be able to feel your feelings from a place of safety so you can focus on your goals, your values. Then towards the end, I'll connect it to where I believe therapy is heading next, especially as psychedelic therapy is rapidly changing the therapeutic landscape. So with that preview out of the way, let's go ahead and start the show.
One of the biggest F words we all face is fear. And that's why this season we're helping you confront your biggest fears in our ongoing series, Project Fear. Karen is terrified to fly, and we decided it was time for her to face her fear.
So on the show, they present someone who has a fear of flying, and they found me as a therapist in California, the fear of flying guy. And it's important to understand that this person was a participant, not a client. What I provided wasn't therapy, but rather a demonstration. And of course, because this already aired on TV, I can discuss the details that were shown. Remember, generally speaking, whatever happens in therapy stays in the therapeutic space.
I'll take a car, a train, or I'll go on a cruise, but no planes. I'll try to find any way to not fly. The last time I was in the air was about 22 years ago. It just seems so scary to be that far off the ground. I usually feel kind of like panicky and nervous, and like my heart will palpitate. My son's going to Penn State. My plan is to drive from California to Pennsylvania so I can be with my son. I think it's over 2,000 miles. I've pictured myself flying around the world, but it's nerve-wracking for me to think about it.
Okay, so a lot of people suffer from depression, anxiety, and phobias, and it really impacts their lives. Here, Karen, a delightful person, wanted to fly to see her son. Right? She lived in California and her son was going to school in Pennsylvania. She didn't want to have to drive a week back and forth just to see him. So this is where I come in, introducing the techniques I'm going to demonstrate. Now, keep in mind that this show is now over 12, 13 years old, so I look pretty young. Anyway, here's where I come in. Welcome, Karen. One of the exercises that we're going to do is kind of show you how you can relax yourself. Let's just start with a deep breath and let it out.
I want you to see if you can relax your eyelids to the point where they just won't work. There's one person in particular approaching you right now that you really connect with. This person is saying, Karen, it is so great that you now have this special ability to fly. You're at peace. You know that you can relax yourself. You know that even though there's a part of you that feels nervous, that you can still do well. Now it's time for you to see the virtual experience on an airplane. What are you feeling right now?
A little nervous.
It's okay to feel a little nervous. Take a deep breath, relax. Remember to breathe deeply.
I'm seeing us getting close to the ground. Oh my gosh.
So flying is actually kind of a safe, comfortable thing. Can it be that way for you?
It looks like it can be that way for me.
So here we're allowing her to feel some of the anxiety without being consumed by it. We're allowing the anxiety to be there while using relaxation to create some distance from it. Once you create that distance, it then becomes a lot easier to make room for the anxiety and recognize that it's a wave of emotion that can naturally abate. It doesn't have to limit what you're able to do. Realizing that it's okay to feel some anxiety, and it doesn't mean that you're in danger or that you're doing something wrong or that you're losing control. It doesn't mean that the airplane is going to crash or that something catastrophic is going to happen. It's just something you're experiencing that you can make room for. Okay, so before we go up to the Santa Monica airport for her flight, here is a quick recap.
I'll take a car, a train, or I'll go on a cruise, but no planes. I'll try to find any way to not fly. My plan is to drive from California to Pennsylvania so I can be with my son.
What are you feeling right now?
A little nervous.
It's okay to feel a little nervous. Take a deep breath and say the word relax.
Relax.
Like many of you watching right now, Karen is afraid to fly. So we made it our mission to help her get on a plane. And if you know anything about me, once I set my mind to something, failure is not an option.
Oh my God. A little plane. I don't want to disappoint my kids. I want to be able to do this. Oh, there. Hi. Bye.
Very nice to meet you. How are you feeling right now?
All kinds of emotions. My heart's a little racing now, and
Okay.
yeah, definitely a little scared.
Fear is an emotion that we sort of talk ourselves into. And the reality is that if we choose to, we can educate ourselves out of it.
So for the show, they had Jillian Michaels on for some reason. One critique I have of what she said is that the idea that fear is something you can kind of educate yourself out of. The major idea here is that negative feelings are always going to be there. The key is to make room for them. Because if you believe you should be able to eliminate fear through education, then when you feel fear anyway, you might conclude that something is wrong, that the techniques didn't work, that you're losing control. The idea instead is that if you lose your fear of fear, then fear itself can just come and go. It doesn't have to stop you from doing what matters. Over time, with these basic relaxation techniques and continued engagement in your life, the anxiety, the fear can naturally diminish and lose its power. And as a bonus, you'll feel more confident about yourself and what you find meaningful.
I want to address my fear.
I want you to start telling me all of the great things that can happen if you can fly. How is it going to improve the quality of your life? I hear you've got a son going across the country to college.
Yeah, he's going to Penn State, and so
How are you going to see him?
it's real far away, and I'm gonna miss him.
Tell me about that.
And it's just not like I can't just take a little trip driving there to see him. I have to.
Right.
It's a long drive,
Right.
and so I want to be able to see him.
So we're doing this for real so you can see your son at the drop of a hat, right? That's why we're doing this. Let's get in here and we're gonna deal with that. We're just gonna sit in the plane. Okay. All right, we're just gonna sit in here.
Okay, clear.
Okay, so now just focus on me. Focus on me, okay? We're gonna shut the door and then we're gonna be okay.
3 Alpha 2, runway 12, fly to get back, thank you.
So tell me what about this is actually scaring you? It's the anticipation of, what could happen or, what could go wrong.
Always with fear, it holds some sort of valuable lesson for us, something that we need to deal with that's gonna unlock all different kinds of amazing aspects of our lives.
Okay, and this is where I agree with Jillian. You can build a tolerance for anxiety. You can learn from it. It can make you stronger. The key term here is acceptance. Notice the feeling, get a bit of distance from it, allow it to be there, and you can focus on your values. You can focus on what matters. Okay, on to the landing.
15, Quebec number 1 for departure, either left or right now when I'm heading north towards Valencia. That's a 915, take Quebec,
Alrighty. Landing is the best part.
Seat backs and tray tables in the upright position and seat belts on and fastened.
Did it. Oh, that was beautiful! Come on, hook it up. You made it! Oh my god! Ta-da! She did it! I know. Oh my god!
Excellent.
So as we see, it's not that her anxiety disappeared. Rather, she learned to tolerate discomfort. The anxiety lost its power and she built confidence. That's the basis of much of what I do. That's really what therapy is all about. Acceptance, feeling your feelings from a place of safety, making the choice to focus on what's important. Now, this segment aired over a decade ago, yet to this day, the core principles, acceptance, making room for fear, focusing on what matters, remains a foundation for everything that I do. What I've discovered since that time is that psychedelic therapy, specifically ketamine therapy, can significantly deepen that same process. When the therapeutic rapport, when the therapeutic relationship is already strong, ketamine can dramatically enhance rapport and really help clients feel their feelings from a place of safety, to help them reconnect with what's truly important, their values, to help really transcend their anxieties and depressions. I've worked with fear flying remotely without the virtual reality equipment or the airline seats, and I've seen really excellent results using this new type of therapy. And so the same applies if it's general anxiety, social anxiety, depression, trauma, or addictions. The key element, though, whatever your goals are, whatever you are seeking, whether it's traditional therapy or ketamine therapy, is you want to work with someone you can feel a sense of connection with, really a therapeutic rapport. So if you're watching this and find that you're nodding along with what I'm saying, if you feel like we might have a good working relationship, and if you're in California, do click the link on the description below to book a free 15-minute consultation. Thank you.